Okay, so what we're doing here, hopefully you can see everything. This prop block is a big prop block. It's for a 36-inch prop, accommodates well over 4-inch cord. Yes, Caleb, please don't drop that there. And I guess what you're going to end up with is you're not going to be able to see me and see that at the same time, so you might as well look at it. It's more interesting. That's kind of, there you go. Mirror image? Alright, so what we're going to do is we've got our propeller spar. This is 16.75 inches long, so it'll, with VP prop hub in there, that'll give us a 34-inch diameter. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this guy on here. If you have watched our other videos on propeller making, I think there, well, yeah, there's two of them. You've already seen this. This particular part is the same in all of them. So we bond that guy in there. Now I have marked all of my spar locations. You may be able to see it on there. Don't know. Alright, this is where it gets interesting. So I must confess, this actually is the first time I have personally tied a propeller to a prop block, because I haven't really been using these plastic ones much because I haven't been making many props lately. I think what I need to do first of all, we're taking thread here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it on the end here. Tie it outside where the propeller is actually going to be. Guess I need to put it at a corner or something. This part's going to be a little bit challenging, I think. But good news is you get to learn from watching me mess up on camera here. That's exactly ideal, but let's see here. Maybe if I do this. There we go. There we go. That's what we need. Now we're going to try to rotisserie or something this prop into place. At least initially, we're just going to do this very loosely. Stay put, you. There we go. So you see what we've got here, or hopefully you do. Now I got to take this off so it doesn't go anywhere. All right, there we go. So that's how you get it to where you're ready to glue everything up. Okay, so we've gotten this step done. We've tied this up. Now we're gonna center it up on there. And again, I hope you can make all of this out. But the bottom line is our prop is tied up in here, and we just want to center our propeller blade over that spar. The spar is laid out fairly straight, and all we have to do then is get our rib stations lined up on it. Until we live on like a farm or something, with all the commotion in the background, and that 3-year-olds have strong opinions about what they should be allowed to do. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now we're centered up, and now all we have to do, my son has stuck the chair in my way. Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start shimming this spar out. Taking very, very nice scrap wood here to do this, ironically. This is actually scrap from planing that prop spar down.
Okay, Lou, stop.
Okay.
What you want?
So I'm going to get this guy in here. There we go. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this up. Maybe. There we go. Normally, I work from the tip inboard. That was a glob of glue. Maybe I can get some of that over there. In this case, we're not working from the tip inboard, and the reason is there's a lot of material here to be covered. Okay, so we've got this guy glued up. So I just shut the video off because you're not going to gain much from that. So one thing I did different from usual is normally on an F1D I take these this root here and I glue it to either side of the spar. In this case I joined them together and just glued it to the top. I don't think you gain anything either way, even on F1Ds. But I remember Nick Ray telling me that that was, just a cardinal sin not to. Everything has changed. Sparless props, they're the cause of it. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to unravel all of this thread. And we're going to reveal this beautifully done propeller blade, which is the largest propeller blade I have ever built. And I've got to do one more. We're not going to record the second one because that's the point. Alright, and it falls off. So I'm going to set this guy aside for now. Now, notice I did not wet this outline or anything to make it hold this twist, and you can see, it's plenty of twist. You got lots of camber too, but that's your helical twist. It held it pretty well. Here, right here, it's not. This is supposed to be curved a little more than it is, but no biggie. And let's see how we're gonna weight this one. So stick it in here. And what's that say? That says that a blade is 202 milligrams. This is not going to be a lightweight propeller, so it's going to be about 500 milligrams when we're done, which is much heavier than I wanted it to be, but 650 or whatever, 630 square inches. Not going to make a big difference. But anyway, the main carry away for you here is that's how you use a plastic propeller block. We'll use it again when we go to set the pitch on this thing, but that gives you what you're after. That's a that block is for 36 by 42 inch prop. We'll probably set this for a base pitch of 42 inches, just like that. This will give us a very nice prop. It's quite rigid, so there you have it. We're working on a stab for an hourglass here. This one's the Hourglass 3, the big one. But what I wanted to go over is how I make my outlines for stabs, because the way they work is they're tapered from their deepest point right here, maximum bending stress, out to really, really skinny at the tips. And so this is 065 deep, is 030 deep out here, and it's all cut from 030 inch sheet. So in terms of this dimension going around, it's the same all the way around. But the issue is, so we're tapered out to a thin spot here, and then we're tapered out to a thin spot. And I find this to be the hardest join to make. So what I do is beforehand, I take these two when they're straightened out, and I join this right here. And I join it with CA. I mean, it's just a butt join. So what I do is that after I've got my two spar assemblies, I wet them out over there. Wet them out over there. And then, instead of starting at one end and working way around, because I don't know where that middle point's going to go, I actually tape the thing here. So I carefully, with one hand, stand that thing up. And if you're careful, it'll support its own weight. You may have to hold it out like this. But the point is, you tape it in place, and then, holding it like this so the other part is dangling down, you can work that piece back across, tape it, and then, once it's secure, you can wrap the other one around. Once I've done this, because of the sheer size, I actually had to scab in an extra piece here, and I'm actually going to show doing that. If you're building an Hourglass 2, which if you build an unlimited, don't build the Hourglass 3. This is like, you borderline need to be able to design your own airplane to attempt something like this. Hourglass 2 is extreme, but it's doable. Whereas this is just sheer insanity. But what I'm doing is I'm cutting this extra piece to size and fitting it in here, maybe. And then what I'm going to do, there are a lot of ways to do it. This is probably the worst. I'm doing a floating stab, so strength in this region actually is not as critical as you'd think, because there are going to be bracing wires running out. What I'm doing is I'm putting wax paper in here to keep this from bonding to the form. I don't know why I'm setting up to try to reuse this. I seriously doubt that I'll ever build another model this size. Famous last words. Anyway, there you go. Once you've got that, now I can take my, where are they? My stab ribs. I think those are the correct ones. I can start cutting them to size and